Okay, so I just reviewed the explanation video on YouTube again and looked at the diagram, and basically, I know this part for sure. The differential lock is basically two inputs for the front differential. So, there's two ways in which the transmission, or this drive shaft, will engage this differential. Either through another differential, the little one in here, or a direct spline to the shaft that goes through. So, normally with a power divider not used, power goes through the differential, and it spins both this axle and that axle. Now, if the rear differential was broken, based on what I see on the diagram, it should still be able to spin this differential, or these wheels. And that's not happening. None of the wheels are spinning with the power divider not used. The truck only moves with the power divider locked in or locked out. It's a bit confusing, the definition. So I'm thinking that this is broken, because that spider gear, the differential gear, the small differential in here, it actually moves both axles. So when the truck is actually driving, it's actually a 4x8. Anyways, both the differentials are being used. Not just one, both. The only difference is when you lock the power divider, it actually forces this differential to move directly, whereas if it's not locked, then one set of tires spins faster than the other, can actually move this other differential, something like that. But for sure, I looked at the video, and there's each side of the gears on the differential. One side goes to that drive shaft, the other side spins the gear that spins this differential. So I originally was thinking that differential is bad, the actual differential. Now I'm starting to think that the small differential is the problem. And I mean, I guess that would be indicated by nothing bad came out in the oil on this differential here. And I would assume that the big differential is a lot harder to break than the small differential. That little one is probably easiest to break. But I'm still a bit odd that this moves so much like that. I don't know if that's normal. But I think what I'm going to do is, I'm pretty confident that our problem is in here, which is going to I'm hoping it is, because it'll make life a lot easier. This is a lot easier to work with, a lot lighter. Now that thing is, that's a monster. So what my plan of action is going to be is I'm going to remove those two bolts that hold the solenoid. This top one there. There's another one at the bottom, can't really see it, but I'm going to remove that piston, and hopefully I can see what's happening inside. And we might still actually have, if that thing broke off inside, we might still have to pull this differential out. But at least here it'll be a lot easier too, if it is this one. Well, not the differential, the big differential, I mean the little differential. Because little pieces get inside there and we have to clean the whole thing out, basically. But yeah, I think this is going to be my plan of action. And oh, by the way, I also noticed that somebody already did some work on this. So you can see by the gasket there, that orange gasket, that's definitely not original. So this was replaced at some point. This here probably also, there's a bit of newer gasket there. But yeah, that definitely. So maybe somebody played around with this here. Now I that's pretty much the end of the explanation for the plan of action here. But what I've heard also, just throwing this out there, is that they're saying that if somebody locks the PDL while the truck is moving, it'll shear off the teeth on this gear here. And but in that case, the PDL wouldn't work. I know for sure the PDL, the engagement mechanism, is working for sure, because these tires, this differential is spinning. It's working. So either power is not getting to there, or it's getting to there and not getting to the wheels because the differential is broken. But because basically my theory hinges on the fact that I'm not sure this is a fact, but my theory is that with the power divider not in use, with it locked in, or it not being used, it not activated, inactive, if one differential is bad, the other differential should still work. I think. I'm not sure. Maybe if I'd have to study this more and really look at the gears, and I really don't have that much time. So it's just going to be faster and more convenient to just tear this open, and see what's happening. But I could be wrong about this. I'm not sure. So maybe if you're a truck driver, tell me what happens if one differential goes. If the rear differential is bad, will the truck still move without the PDL engaged? I think so. Now, the other way to know for sure, 100% sure, is if I had the truck running and the transmission engaged, if that drive shaft is spinning, that means our differential is bad. Now, if the drive shaft is not spinning while this one is, that means our problem is in here. So we could maybe do that test, but it'll take a while to get the batteries here, and unfortunately you kind of need a helper for that. Look at the drive shaft to see which one is spinning, which one isn't. I noticed that this one has lots of oil on it, whereas this one seems kind of dry, very dry, even there. So I don't know, that might indicate that this is actually not spinning, because if it was spinning, then it would be throwing a little bit of oil out, right? Now, maybe somebody with more experience tells me if this amount of play here is normal. I kind of have to look at a manual, but it moves probably half an inch there. Now, the other thing is, if this differential, could we spin this drive shaft? I tried turning it and it won't turn. Like I figured something was broken there. But anyways, I think we're just gonna stop talking and get to work here.